where did the beard come from and why did I start growing the beard? It was today I'm going to tell you the story about why I've been growing my beard out. But it's still a bed beard right now. Just like how people have bed head, you get bed beard. Today, it's not too bad, but I gotta go fix it before I really start the story. Now, the two things that I do use to get my beard ready to go for each day is a comb and some beard oil. I do have a detailed video of how this is done. Should be linked either up here or here, wherever that little card comes in. But if you want that, you can check out that video. This video is just, a little story time. So, there you go, a little piece of information. Alrighty, all good to go. Now, to go set up, grab the beer and continue on. Yay! Perfect. Perfect. Alrighty, what's going on YouTube? Maperooski back here with a beer in hand and a little bit of a story time. As you can see from the first few shots, it's about, well, my beard and why I started growing it. This idea was actually given to me by, gotta check my phone again, I don't quite remember off the top of my head. Let's find out. A viewer, Carlos Francis, recommended me shooting this video. He kind of wanted to know a little story time over a beer about my beard and why I started growing it. He said if it was because I'm just lazy, well then yeah, he's right. That's definitely a solid point, but that's not the whole story. So give me a second. I'm gonna have a sip. That's good. Speaking of which, the beer today is the Knucklebone IPA from Skeleton Crew Brewing out in Oakville, Ontario. Nice 2-4 of that, so get to enjoy a nice afternoon brew. Also, it's getting a lot nicer out. It was really ugly and rainy and glum today, but the sun's finally out. Perfect time to shoot this video. So, back on topic. Where did the beard come from and why did I start growing the beard? It was kind of planned, kind of not planned at the same time. I first really wanted to grow a beard back when I was, I think, 13, 14 if I'm not mistaken. Back then I was watching Shay Carl, a very long time YouTuber or whatever, and I saw him and his beard. I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool. And he had a narrative along with his beard, kind of making it like a best friend as well, kind of thing. And I'm just like, that's pretty cool. That would be really neat to see me with a beard one day. And back then, I really had nothing. I had a little bit of a mustache and I had some sideburns or whatnot. Nothing like it is today. And that's sort of, I guess, the first initial reasoning why I wanted to grow a beard one day was because of him and seeing his attachment to his beard. That sounds kind of weird saying it out loud, but that's kind of how it was. Back when I was 13, 14, over 10 years ago now. So I knew that was a thing. It never really stuck with me too much, that idea of having a beard throughout high school. It wasn't until I came to college or whatever, and I'd play around with whatever facial hair I had, kind of thing, do different styles and whatnot, grow the chin. That's really all I could do. Sideburns, I didn't touch. I didn't want mutton chops or anything. Kind of just went like that through the first year of college. And it wasn't until the end of first year and second semester, probably in March or yeah, probably in March. One day I was just lazy. I was needing to get ready, go to a party, as we all do in college. And I walked up to the bathroom mirror after my shower, and I looked at my razor and I looked at my face. I'm like, meh, I can do without. So I just shaved the bottom portion of my neck that day. And this was before I knew I had a lot more facial hair than I thought. And then I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna let it go for a few weeks, maybe for another couple days, couple weeks, see what happens. And then ultimately it just started sort of growing in a little bit more and a little bit more. The cheeks filled in, everything started to connect down in the jawline on both sides. The mustache kind of grew down a bit more. Everything sort of just started falling into place as far as my facial hair growth, which was kind of cool. And then over time I just kept it. I grew that beard out for a good few months kind of thing. It wasn't as full as it is now today. Along the sides here, they didn't really connect. There was a little bit of a gap between my mustache and my cheek, which kind of looked a little funny, but everything had a fairly solid base. I shaved it all, I think, I don't know, it was on and off with me and the beard for a little bit, but I shaved it off cleanly 4 years ago. I used to just trim it down to about a number 4 all around. Had that for a long time, but it was up at my cottage, and I was just like, screw it, this was 4 years ago, screw it, let's go clean shaven. Shaved it all off 4 or 5 years ago now, and then I just said, screw it, I'm gonna grow it out. I'm gonna grow it out to the fullest and the best kind of thing. There were a few other, number 4 trims along the way, along these 4 years. And I always shaved the neck, the bottom portion of my beard all the time, until one day I did actually get lazy and I said, screw it, my beard's long enough where this can't really be seen too much, so I just grew that out and said, screw it, haven't touched a razor in years, in a good 2 to 3 years. So, and again, still on and off with the trimming of the main beard, but I did eventually stop that. So I don't really have a full timeline of when this beard started and when it ended in full growth. The last major trim I did was last June. That wasn't a huge trim, it was a bit more of a cleanup. I think I took maybe 1/4 of an inch off, whatever, just cleaned it up for my brother's grad, because my mom was nagging on me. She was ragging on me a lot. She still does. But that was the first time I had really any major trimming happen in a good 2 or 3 years. And then ever since last June, I just haven't touched it. Haven't touched it one bit. I take the scissors, to clear up some small ends, some wacky ones, or wacky mustache hairs that get out of control. But for the most part, it's just been growing freely, which is awesome. It's been a journey, and I love the thing. It's soft. It's a pillow, so if I put my head down on a desk, you can sleep on it, which is great. It helps me from slopping on my clothes. Usually gets caught in here, so you gotta remember, wipe your face. But there are a lot of difficulties with having the beard. Take in fact, open-faced bagels with peanut butter or cream cheese. Total nightmare. It gets all in the mustache, all like the peanut butter, the cream cheese, all in the mustache. Ribs are a pain in the ass. Chicken wings are brutal. Cause yeah, anything with a sauce of some sort of kind, or like just like a spread of something, it's all in the mustache region, which is good because it's good because it doesn't slop, but it's bad because I use probably 3 times or 4 times as many napkins to make sure it's clean while I eat anything that is a little saucy as well. On a fresh pour of beer, and there's a nice bit of head, and you take a sip, Yeah, I do get a ton of head around the mustache area, and apparently, I think a few thousand pints of Guinness are lost in people's mustaches over the course of a year, which is kind of funny in the grand scheme of things. So I'm one of those people. I lose beer in the mustache, but you just gotta make sure you gotta plan ahead and really clean it up when you get a chance. But also, taking care of it can be a bitch. Like I said, with sauces and stuff like that, after you have a meal of like chicken wings, you gotta go wash it quick. You just gotta go to a sink, rinse it all out, throw a little bit of soap in if you'd like. There you go, good to go. But yeah, it really started, the whole beard, like I said, me, one, being lazy, two, always wanting one ever since I was 13, and just leaving it up to its natural abilities, to my natural genes and abilities of growing a majestic beard. And it's come a long way. My parents, especially my mom, still nags on me saying, you gotta trim it, you gotta trim it, you gotta trim it. And I just say, no, this is my beard. This is what I'm doing with it. I've waited a very long time. I was 19 when I first started growing in. I'm 25 now, and it's been a great 6 years having a beard. I think I look better with it, which is really funny. It's also a nice little friend, and people stare. Some people stare quite a bit longer than it can be comfortable sometimes. But at the same time, you just realize, oh, it's probably because of the beard, or I have a piece of food stuck in my beard, and that does happen from time to time. Bits and pieces of sunflower seeds may fall in, and maybe 5 minutes later, I'm just stroking the beard, and I notice something. I'm like, oh, that's a sunflower seed. So there's good and bad with the beard. Also, it can catch me off guard and scare the shit out of me if there's a hair that's a little out of place or something, and it's in my peripheral, and I look down, and I'm like, oh shit, there's a spider. And it's not a spider on me, it's just my beard hair. It tickles the shoulders if I turn my head like this. It's a fun journey. Morning beard is also a pain in the ass because all the mustache hairs are everywhere. This whole portion is like flipped up, and it's all just it's a pain. It's in my mouth, and it's not fun. Sandwiches are harder to eat because when you take a bite of the sandwich, sometimes rogue hairs or your mustache will also get clumped into that. Nothing gets really pulled out, but it does pull on your skin underneath. So there are hazards with it. But it has been a journey growing this beard. Like I said, started out from laziness, me wanting one since I was 13, and well, just good genes, I guess. That's the whole story about the beard, the ups and downs of it, the little not shaving, but little trimming regiments I've used to have, but now it's just full grown, and it's going to continue to grow till when I see fit. Every once in a while I do have thoughts about maybe totally shaving it off, but then again, I think long and hard. I do have dreams about it too, and it scares the shit out of me because if I shaved today, I would have an identity crisis because I don't know what my face looks like. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen my chin or my cheeks or my face, my real face, in 4 to 5 years, and I think that would destroy me mentally. I think it would destroy anybody mentally. People who would see me without a beard would be like, what the hell? Who is this guy? And I would wake up and look in the mirror and be shocked, be like, who the fuck am I? You know? So it's more of a fearful thing. It's more me being afraid if I ever decide to shave it. Will that day come? I have no idea. Will you see that day? You definitely will. But as far as I know right now, the beard is staying. So I hope you enjoyed the little story time. I'm not the greatest with stories. This is definitely a new adventure for me, but this is what these videos are all about, is new adventure and trying new things and getting out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I was too comfortable for too long. So this has been fun. Thanks, Carlos Francis. I'm 99% sure. I'm like 59% Carlos Francis. Thank you, Carlos Francis, for the recommendation, for wondering how and why I'm growing this beard. So I do thank you for that, giving me the idea. It was fun shooting this for sure, but it is still a little chilly outside. My hands are cold, which is good because the beer stays cold. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my beer on this somewhat of a better, but still gloomy day. So with that said, guys, that's gonna do it for me, Maperooski. If you like what you saw, you can leave a like, do a subscribe, hit that dingy bell kind of thing. Keep up to date with what's going on. Gonna be posting more, like I've been saying, different stuff, but the beer reviews still continue. And with that said, guys, that's gonna do it for me, Maperooski. So like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers. And grow that beard if you can. You save a lot of money on razors.